Good morning. It is October 16 and I am staying at Bluewater Lake State Park, and as you can see I'm leaving from my campsite because there's a trailhead just close. It's right by Piñon Cliff Campground. I'm not in that campground, but there's many different little campgrounds here, but it's all one state park. Anyways, I'm doing the Canyonside Trail. So let's see where this goes. Very rocky to begin with. It's been so hard on me. I haven't been able to hike for the past 5 days because there's been a severe weather system going through and it's been so windy. So I did a bit of sightseeing in Santa Fe and Albuquerque, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to hike. So I'm so glad I finally get to go out, and it is a bit windy today, but not near as severe as it has been. Well, that definitely is a canyon down there. This campground is nice, except they close their washrooms down from 9 at night till 7 in the morning. So that's not very convenient. Who does that? I don't know what the purpose of that is. But it is mid-October, so there's not very many people here, which is nice. I can't complain too much, and I had a nice warm shower this morning. I've stayed at a rest stop, the most prettiest rest stop I've ever stayed at overnight, between Santa Fe and Albuquerque. So it was really neat with all the hollyhocks in bloom. I tell you, I sure do lead an exciting life with this trip and the places I stayed. I also have been staying at truck stops, which is not my favorite, but somehow I'm able to get sleep. This hillside is covered in cactus. Oh, massive. This is the first campground I've ever stayed at where cows are freely allowed to roam around on it. And also there's dogs loose. I thought at first they were coyotes, but they're dogs. And I wasn't joking. You little rascal. Soaking up some rays. There's also a government shutdown right now as we speak, and so I've been going to national parks and they're not open, and I am so sad about that. I've traveled all this way and I can't get inside. Really bummed. Well, David flees from Saul to a place called Nob, which is north of Jerusalem and where the sanctuary was. Ahimelech was the priest there, and he's actually Eli's great-grandson. Anyway, he is head over 85 other priests. Well, it looks like I get to cross a creek. This is fun. Ahimelech was afraid when he met David and said, "Why are you alone and no one is with you?" So David said, "The king has ordered me on some business and I am not supposed to tell anyone what it is." Then he asked for 5 loaves of bread or whatever can be found. David outright told a lie, and this will result in tragic consequences. I think this guy's too cold to move right now. It was 5 degrees this morning, 5 degrees Celsius. almost stepped on him. Anyway, back to the bread. The priest said, "There is no common bread on hand, but there is holy bread if you have kept yourself from women." David assured him that he hadn't been with a woman for 3 days, so the priest gave him the holy bread. This is a fun walk, I'm telling you. It's pretty unique. I tell you, you gotta be careful. You would go down this cow path when that's not the real path. It's this way that we need to go. I just saw that post over there, and so I figured it out. Man, those cows can lead you astray. And another fun stream crossing. This is so cool. Wow, these rocks are not stable. What are those birds I hear? This is quite a jungle in here. Can't see those birds. Yeah, you're gonna get your feet wet probably. Basically following a stream. You see, 12 loaves of consecrated bread are changed every Sabbath. The old loaves are eaten by the priest in the sanctuary. Based on this very passage, Jesus reasoned that to save lives is more important than ceremonial laws. Now, a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day. His name is Doeg, an Edomite. He was the chief herdsman who belonged to Saul. You see, foreign mercenaries served Israelite kings. This brief mention of Doeg, who may have served as Saul's informer, is important for the rest of the story in our next hike. Anyway, David said to Ahimelech, "Is there not here on hand a spear or a sword? I did not bring my own." Ooh, I'm just bypassing a trail. I did not bring my own because the king's business required haste. Well, the sword you killed Goliath with is here as a trophy. You can take that one. It's wrapped up behind the ephod. So David took it and then fled to Achish, king of Gath. Do you remember where Goliath was from? Gath! And now I've got some steep rock scrambling to do, so I'm going to put you away for now. Anyway, his servants recognized David and said, "Is this not David, king of the land? Did they not sing about him? Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000s. Notice that they respect David more than Saul when they called him king of the land. Anyway, this frightened David, so he changed his behavior, pretending madness, scratching on the doors of the gate and letting saliva run down on his beard. Then Achish became distressed and said, "Look, this guy is insane. Why have you brought him to me?" There was a belief in ancient times that anyone who harms an insane or demon-possessed person will become a victim of the same spirit. And this is where the chapter ends. But what a vast difference between the courageous young man trusting God to slay Goliath and now running in fear from Saul and pretending to be mad. We're back to the campground area now. Oh, there's a roadrunner. That's awesome. The healing hiker gives this Canyonside Loop Trail a 4.5 out of 5. It was nearly perfect, except now we're walking on asphalt, so that's why I dinged it a little bit. But what a fun trip this was. Now you can catch a glimpse of the whole campground, or some of it, I guess, the play area. And do you see how there's hardly anybody here? It's pretty incredible. As he had been hunted and persecuted, perplexity and distress had nearly hidden his heavenly Father from his sight. Every failure on the part of the children of God is due to our lack of faith. When shadows encompass our soul, when we want light and guidance, we must look up. There is light beyond the darkness.